Good morning, listeners, and welcome to the Morning 4 podcast, and happy 4th of July to all of our listeners here in America. And if you're listening from abroad, shout out to our fans in Norway. We hope that you'll still enjoy today's episode and that you have a wonderful day planned wherever you live. I'm your host, Katie Parsons, and this is the Morning 4 podcast. And, sometimes we take holidays off, but I felt like the 4th of July, maybe a lot of people are working today. Maybe you're a nurse. Maybe you're another first responder. Maybe you just have to work and you need a little something to get your day started, or you're hanging out with family and need a little boost of positivity before you head into that. So we figured, you know what? Let's have an episode even though it's the 4th. So thanks for making me part of your morning routine, even on the holidays. And I think that there is an assumption that holidays equal happiness, and that's true of days like today, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, and more. I think it's fair to say that any and all of those holidays can actually be painful for many people who might be alone or grieving, living with PTSD, facing depression, or just really having a rough time. So while I don't want to bring your holiday down, I'd encourage you to think outside your own celebrations today. Find someone to reach out to who may not be experiencing today the same way you are. You can send a text, take a meal, invite them to something, find a way to show that you care, and you may just turn a negative holiday around for someone. And on that note, let's get this 4th of July edition started with
Number 1.
July 4th is recognized as the day that America finally declared its independence from England. But here's a few fun facts about that process. Did you know that only John Hancock actually signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776? Everybody else signed it later. And the average age of the signers of the Declaration of Independence was 45 years old. The youngest was 27-year-old Thomas Lynch Jr. of South Carolina. The oldest, of course, 70-year-old Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania. And then the lead author of the Declaration, Thomas Jefferson, he was only 33 years old. A few of those signers took that honor really seriously. President John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on the 4th of July, within hours of each other, in 1826.
Number 2.
Well, what will you throw on your grill today? Hamburgers, hot dogs, corn on the cob? Well, this next 4th of July fact is one I think will make my husband happy. Did you know that eating salmon on the 4th of July is a tradition that began in New England and is actually still recognized a lot of places there? When the tradition was established, the middle of the summer marked a time when salmon were in abundance in the rivers, so that's why they would grill it. The traditional way that salmon is served in New England is with some green peas along the side, and even though the salmon business isn't quite as thriving there now, this is kind of a fun tradition a lot of people still do, and maybe we'll try in our house today. If you love salmon, you should give it a try too.
Number 3.
Today's feel-good news item is sourced from the Dallas Morning News. Recent harsh summer storms have ripped through the Dallas area, bringing along dangerous hail and some tornado conditions. Hail, rain, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts had made it almost impossible to drive in the area. So Chelsea Gonzalez, a Frisco, Texas woman, was traveling with her 3-year-old niece and her best friend, and she had to stop under a tree to protect her brand new car from hail damage. Well, I'm sure you can guess what happened next. The tree fell through the sunroof. It actually didn't hit anyone, thank goodness, but Chelsea and her passengers could not move and they were unsure what to do next. So Chelsea Gonzalez leaped out of her car into the torrential wind and rain. She pulled her niece from the back seat, but she couldn't get her friend out. So she ran to the closest business. Chelsea ran inside. It was a nearby restaurant, and a customer and the chef immediately ran back outside into the terrible weather with her, helped lift the tree from the vehicle, and safely remove the friend uninjured. The 3 car passengers went inside the restaurant, and it was called the Low Key Pokey. And the owner there immediately fed them, got them some blankets, helped them dry off, and calmed them from the ordeal. The car is beyond repair, but thankfully the people inside it were helped to safety.
Number 4.
I feel like natural disasters kind of bring out the best in people, and it's nice to see, even if the circumstances aren't really the best. I hope that you'll have opportunities to help those around you today, even if it's not a life or death situation. So let's head into this 4th of July with our affirmation. Repeat after me. Freedom starts with my acceptance of the world around me. Today, I recognize that differences can be uniting. Have a very happy 4th of July, whatever you're up to. Stay safe, stay happy. I'll see you back here again tomorrow.